Land on a lake in Maine. That's where we're going to look at. Waterfront property. This is Maine real estate. Hello, I'm Maine Realtor Andy Mooers, and if you have ever been to Maine or live here full-time, you know what kind of trailer this is up ahead of us. Whoop, there's another one coming up off the exit. What's in those little boxes? Got little wheels on the back. They're not moving furniture. There's snow sleds inside those boxes. Well, what if you own property in northern Maine? What if you had an ability to be able to leave your snow sled, four-wheelers, your boats, your toys here? You wouldn't have to trailer them up and down the interstate. I'll tell you something else about these little snow sled trailers. Those small wheels have high-speed bearings, and they wear out. I used to use one for soapbox derby racers. We used to take them all the way to New Hampshire, and that was fun, but one time we had to replace one in the parking lot on a Sunday afternoon. Thank goodness Brent Sear was with us, a mechanic, so he helped me chisel out the old bearing after I found one at a hardware store, auto parts store that was open. So anyway, just trying to tell you what it's like up in the winter. We don't hibernate. We're out on the trails year round. But what's inside that trailer? It's a snow sled or two. They're a lot different than they used to be. How have the snowmobiles changed over the years? Well, when I was a little kid, we had a Johnson ski horse. It was about a 14 horse. It would go great on hard packed, like a driveway or side of a road. Take it out into some white, new, fluffy white snow, and whoa, she'd get bogged down. You would almost need to wait till spring to get it off the farm field or off the woods trail, or you'd need to heft and lift and get a hernia trying to get it out of there. They were very heavy. The other problem with the early sleds, we also had a snow jet. Uncle Carl Hagen sold them. Had another uncle, Cedric Ben, sold Polaris's, so we had those too. The problem was the skis were close. How come? You didn't have trails. You got two trees coming up when you're going through the woods. They're not far enough apart. Your sled's got to squeeze between those two trees. So early sleds too, you weren't sitting down and steering them a lot. You were on your knees. You were leaning, going into corners. You were standing on your feet to try to help the sled. And if you were riding on the back of that snow sled with bogey wheels, you would definitely, hey, lean into the corners like a bobsled team in the Olympics to help us get around that corner. Otherwise, we could go flying out into the woods. So, snow sledding. Where are we going today? We are going to a familiar place called Oakfield. What are we going to look at, Andy? Well, it's land on a lake in Maine. It's waterfront property. It's Maine real estate that it's practically the whole north half of a small Maine lake. It's wooded, and it's near other lakes that have a lot of fish. They have public boat launches, so you can have a buffet of waterfront. But this particular piece, close to 56 acres, 55.8 to be exact. You're in luck in Oakfield too, because they have groomed trails, but not from a sled club a couple towns away. This is the Smoky Haulers Snowmobile Club. You can park and ride if you want to bring your sled up and leave the trailer and whatever hauled it in the yard. You could take your sleds and spend the day, spend the weekend. But there comes a time when you want to own your own property up in Maine. You've been staying at expensive motels, and it's time for you to have your own place. So this almost 56 acres of ground, Maine waterfront property, land on a lake in Maine, is close to this Smoky Haulers clubhouse. There's a lot of other perks too. In Oakfield, you've got the cheapest gas. I don't know why, they just have a gas war going on all the time. So you can send 15 cents a gallon. Saving 15 cents a gallon is nothing to sneeze about in northern Maine, especially if you're a truck driver and you want to get some diesel for the hauling the logs to the mill, or if you're a snow sledder dragging these little snow sled trailers all over creation up here in northern Maine. Northern Maine, Aroostook County, is the size of Connecticut. It is one big honking place to snow sled, ATV, and enjoy, and it's unspoiled. Most of the population in Aroostook County is concentrated along the Canadian border. No, it's not dangerous being this close to Canada. We're related to all these people. They're our cousins. We go over there a lot. They come over here all the time. We're in Oakfield, and there's benefits of being here besides low gas and Smoky Hollers Snow Sled Club. You've got beautiful lakes. You have friendly people. You don't have to lock your doors. There's no traffic. We're the 4th lowest crime state. That's all great. But Oakfield specifically, they were pretty smart. Before they let wind generators, those giant windmills that are on top of the Oakfield foothills, come in, they negotiated. They did not just let them come in and have at it. Part of the negotiations, a brand new fire department. See the big 5-bay fire department? Plus they can house an ambulance in here too. That really benefited the town. So free fire department, plus the taxes on this property are like $705. It's not a bad tax, and that's just once a year. But here's the bonus. Because of the wind generators, see them up on the Oakfield foothills? Someone's got to grease them. It created some jobs. You may feel good or bad about them, but like it or not, they're here, and at least they negotiated them so that there's some perks and benefits. Your $705 taxes, if you built a year-round home and you were on this property, this land on Waterfront in Maine, that year-round residence tax bill is going to have $2,100 wind generator subsidy included. So if your taxes are $705, you're ahead of the game, like $1,400. That's another perk. Here's the Curry Road where we go in if you want to drive into the property. The Curry Road dead ends. It was actually cut in two when the Interstate 95 came in. A lot of roads had that happen, so it's like a dead-end road, which makes it a lot more private. We have a right-of-way to come in off the west side. We'll show you the maps. We'll also show you some footage from what's it like when it's fall, one of the other 4 seasons. Looks completely different. Life at camp is completely different depending on the season. We're going to come up on a railroad crossing. When we did the earlier video for the shell and the small acreage that's available, that you'll have a video at the end of this one to watch, we just hoofed it up the railroad tracks about 4,000 feet and then just went through the woods to find the little camp. It was pretty hard to do the drone because it was total woods. We had to find a little opening, a little clearing to be able to silo up, silo down. It wasn't that easy. This road isn't open right now. How come? No one's in here. But see the railroad tracks? See how it all fits in, the puzzle pieces? What do you think? Land on a lake in Maine. 55.8 acres, one big chunk of land, and there is a shell and a small out parcel that could be part of it. We just happen to have that listed too. Completely different owners. You don't have to buy both, buy one or buy the other. But give me a call. Let's discuss what is going on with this Maine waterfront property. All the questions you have about what kind of woods, What else do you want to know about the Oakfield area? We're here to be the local expert, just the Chamber of Commerce when there isn't one in Oakfield. We live here, so we know a little bit more, just like you know everything about your area, and I don't know anything about where you're hailing from. Please put down below in the comments, where are you watching from? That's always interesting for all of us to know. Who's out in the audience? There's a lot of people in different parts of the world watching and want to hear from you. Please subscribe to our channel if you're not already a member. If you are, thank you very much. Please smash that like button. Please make comments down below. The questions you ask, everyone benefits from. I'm Maine Realtor Andy Mooers. Thanks a lot for watching the Maine Real Estate channel. It was a windy one today. Had to put our hat on when we were outside. But glad to get another real estate listing served up. This one really special. Waterfront. Waterfront property in Maine. This is land on a Maine lake. See you next time, and stick around for that shell that I promised you would be at the end of this video. I know you only have so much time to binge on these, so we try to make good use of that time.